Hello, wonderful people. Welcome back. I am making this video on breathing exercises. So really it's just one breathing exercise, but I combined, it's not really combining them, it's just showing you in steps. So what I'm going to teach is alternate nostril breathing. And the reason I wanted to make this video is because when I looked it up online, I didn't find any videos that showed all the stuff that I wanted to see. And I'm basing this based on like what I've studied and read from the Vedic teachings and the yogic teachings on pranayama, but also my own experience and what I've noticed really makes it kick in. So the first step is base breathing. And that's basically when you breathe deep into your abdomen. So for this, you're gonna want to you want to get a feel for it. So the way that I train myself is first I start by a slight bend like that, and then you want to breathe into this bottom half. So you put your hands on both. I always do the right hand above and left hand below, but however you feel comfortable. And then you practice by expanding the lower abdomen as you breathe. So you should be like. You can use a mirror when you're starting, but really just, you'll be able to feel it in your hands. If the chest is expanding, you'll feel that too. And there's nothing wrong with expanding the chest, but you definitely want to expand the bottom quadrant or bottom half first. And that's going to be like, here's my belly button. You want to do like this whole thing. And for me, it always helps me to visualize a ball right between like the pelvic and the belly button, so like pretty low, as low as you can get it. I visualize a ball there, or maybe like a balloon, and as I breathe into it, it's kind of expanding, but it's not obviously. It's kind of like, it's more like that, like it's a small ball that gets big, and I give it light. And there's a reason that I like to visualize a specific color of light as I'm breathing. So I'm visualizing that light. Let's say it's like a light blue. Blue is very calming, which is often what I'm looking for. So I just visualize myself. I'm breathing it through my nostrils. It's going through both my pathways. It's like lighting up my third eye and my brain. And then all the way down, I feel it passing my heart. And then all the way down to the bottom to where it's inflating that little balloon that's in there. And then you can, if you do a long enough breath, you're going to fill the bottom half, and then eventually also you're going to start filling your chest. And that's okay, as long as you get to the bottom first. All right, so that's base breathing. Any questions on that, please feel free to leave them in the comments. The next phase of that, you can do base breathing just by itself and maybe with ujjayi. So ujjayi, I don't know if you can hear this. It's really hard to explain it, but you're constricting, like back here, like your sinus. You're just making it so that when you breathe, you make a sound. Right, that's with ujjayi. This is without ujjayi. With ujjayi. So it's like I'm constricting something here that's pushing, and it's basically giving some resistance to the breath, and that's locking in the prana or life force or chi in your body. So you're pulling in life force, and as you exhale, you're retaining that life force when you apply the ujjayi. So just by doing the base breathing, the lower abdomen breathing, deep breaths or slow, long breaths, however you feel comfortable, you're going to get some effects. It's going to start clearing your mind. It's going to start synchronizing your brain hemispheres, and you'll start to just feel a bit more present and relaxed, calm, and full of energy. So then, and I usually, when I do it, I do a pendulum swing, so that I'm not stopping in between breaths. Although you can stop if you want. For me, it really helps synchronize my brain hemispheres, like lower my brain waves from beta into like a theta state, which is where you're kind of half dream, half awake, tapping into that subconscious realm of creativity and maybe changing some programmings if you want. And then the alternate nostril is, you keep doing that deep breathing, but then, the traditional way, the traditional way is you take these two fingers and you bend them like that, and you block, take a deep breath in, exhale through the right nostril. So you block the left nostril with this finger here, the ring finger, and you exhale. Then you inhale. Then switch on the exhale. Exhale through the left nostril, plug the right nostril with the thumb. Exhale. Inhale, I'm inhaling through my left, and then again switch. So this is an ancient mudra, and all the ancient mudras, they have an effect, but also it just makes it really easy, so you can alternate without having to do this. You can just a slight shift of the wrist can help you alternate. If you're in public, like I often do this when I'm driving, and when I'm driving, I'm not driving like this, obviously. What I do is I have one hand here and I go like this. Doesn't look as crazy. It still looks kind of crazy, but if someone is just passing by, they're not gonna notice. It looks like you're just thinking. You're just like, deep thought, and they do say that you're supposed to start with an exhale, inhale, right? So then it's like, anyway, you get the point that you can do it different ways. If you're driving or if you're sitting somewhere at a coffee shop just waiting for somebody, like, it's a lot less conspicuous than doing this thing. So another thing I wanted to say is that the traditional way, like the most popular way, is what I just taught, which is take a deep inhale, then block the left nostril, exhale through the right nostril, inhale through the right nostril, switch it up, exhale through the left, inhale through the left. And it feels wonderful. Sometimes though, I always go based on my intuition. Like it's just something that feels right for me at that time. Sometimes I just do and the left nostril is corresponding to the right side of the brain, which is the moon, or feminine, soft, gentle. I have a tendency to get like overly active. So I usually want to stimulate the left side. And so a lot of times I just do inhale through the left, which is inhaling like gentle energy. And I keep that in mind. I'm inhaling gentle energy. I don't think about it the whole time if I'm driving but I realize that this is my feminine aspect being activated. And then I exhale through the left to the right. So basically what I'm saying is you can play around with what you need, what works for you. It's all about balancing the system. So if you're overactive, you want to do inhale and you're exhaling the intense masculine energy. You're releasing that energy and you're pulling in more feminine, relaxing energy, soothing energy. to just calm things down. Like I live in South Florida. When I'm driving around here, a lot of times I'm like, oh, so I do that, and it really helps. The reason, now this part is just theory. What you're doing according to the Vedic text when you do these conscious breathing, the pranayam, is you are in Vedic, they have 5 bodies. They believe that our bodies are like, who we are, our being is layered into 5. The first layer is the Atman, which is the blissful, loving, all unified source, eternal being, spirit, right? And then there's like a wisdom layer. Then there's, I think it's like, maybe, I don't remember all the layers right now, but the point is that there's Atman, then there's the wisdom body, then there's the pranic body, then there's the mental body, and then there's the physical body, right? So when you breathe consciously, you're uniting the breath that contains the prana, right? The breath is the medium for the pranic life force. So the pranic body is intrinsically connected to the breath. And then when you connect the mind to the breath by putting your attention on the breath and giving it a light and a color, which is what I was talking about in the beginning, then you're linking the mental body to the pranic body. And not only are you linking them, but you're getting them sort of synchronized so that they're balanced out and that they're communing. And the pranic body is a little closer to the Atman body, the source, the bliss, the non-physical. So in essence, you're taking the mind away from the material world of the physical body and the concerns and all the past and future kind of distractions and sort of like the past tends to infiltrate into the present. And it's beneficial to be free of that past so that we can be fully present. And every time we're fully present, not only are we really enjoying we're like in a state of joy and peace and calm, but we're also much more efficient in our work, in our relationships. We're able to listen to whoever we're with and respond in the moment harmoniously. The most harmonious behavior flowers naturally from being in the moment, rather than having to sort of concoct the right behavior or plan or scheme. Like all the planning is very me oriented, but when I'm in the moment, the me sort of falls away. The egocentric or like me oriented mentality just kind of like chills out and gives way to life's flow and allows life to sort of take over. So it's really beneficial, especially, for me while driving, but also like going to bed. If anytime there's too much mental activity, people that have anxiety or even, sadness, addictions, it can just help soothe the body, which seems to me to be helpful for just about everything. So that's it. That's the theory behind it. But really just remember the deep breath, breathe deeply. And even when you're doing the asana breathing, the alternate nostril breathing, you're going to want to keep the breath like I was showing you. Now I'm going to combine it, right? So it's like, let me do this so you can see. So it's like, that's the one that I like to do, but then the traditional one is and that's it. Alternate nostril breathing with the base breathing combination. Much love, everybody.